afternoon, folks. It is just too pretty not to get outside today. So it's just after 5 o'clock. I finished up work. It's 70 degrees and I got the kayak loaded up in the truck, and I'm just going to go get a couple miles in on the river and enjoy this beautiful weather while simultaneously celebrating getting my second COVID shot today. So hopefully in a couple of weeks I'm fully vaccinated and we can get back to life, whatever the new normal is going to look like. So I'll check in back when I'm on the water and let you know where we are. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing what I call the Phoenixville loop. In the guide, they call it the Lock 60 loop. And this is really a great paddle to do if you are in the Philadelphia area and you are by yourself, because this is a paddle where you get to go up the Schuylkill River Canal, starting at either mile 34, Longford Park, or at Port Providence. And then you paddle up the canal to Lock 60. Simply take your boat out there at the dock, you portage across the parking lot, and then put back in the river, and then paddle back down to mile marker 34, where there is another portage. And that's a kind of long portage, a couple hundred yards. And if you're parked at Longford Park, you come across the portage and you are pretty much at the parking lot. Or you put back into the canal, there's a dock there, and paddle back up to Port Providence to your waiting car, which is kind of what I prefer to do. And if you enjoy a cocktail, there's a bar there at Port Providence, so you reward yourself with a beverage at the end. This whole thing takes about 2 hours roughly to do the canal paddle plus the river, and it's about 4.5 miles of paddles, and just a nice chill, relax paddle to do. All right, folks, here we are on the Delaware, or the Schuylkill Canal, excuse me. And I just parked and launched from Longford Park, which wasn't really the plan. I had hoped to go to Providence Station, but they had all kind of signs up. Apparently they don't want kayakers and boaters parking there, so had to go down to the park, and which is at the very end of the canal. No big deal, but and normally I like this route from Providence because you get in the water and it's about 1.5 miles up to Lock 60. Then you do the river, and then you get back in the canal, and it's like a little half-mile cool down back to your car. Whereas now, I got in at the end of the canal. I'll go up this 2 miles to Lock 60. Then I'll take the river. When I come down, I'll just basically portage from the river back over to the canal, but I walk around the canal straight to my car. So, a little different twist than I was expecting, but still a beautiful night to be out for a paddle. And wind is in my face a little bit, so the canal's going to be slow going. But I guess that means it'll be in my back when I get to the river. So I'll show you some sights and sounds along the way. So this is Port Providence. And you can see they have a canoe rental here. Then there's a bar and restaurant with outdoor seating, or deck. Apparently they don't want kayakers parking here anymore, so some people come to the canal and just never leave. You can see this is just a nice quiet paddle here along the canal. The Schuylkill River Trail obviously is just there to the left. And yeah, that's where walkers, bikers, joggers, dogs. Just a nice area. And up here, this is the Route 23 bridge. If you make a left, it'll take you right into the borough of Phoenixville. If you make a right, about 5 miles down, you'll get to Valley Forge National Park. So from here, once I go under the bridge, it's about a half mile to Lock 60 and the portage over to the river. Alright, so here we are. This is Lock 60, which is still a functional lock on the canal. Delaware River is about 100 yards to my left. And like I said, this is still a functional lock. There's a house there, a guardhouse. As far as I know, they only use this one time a year when they do the Schuylkill River Sojourn, which is a full river trip with about a couple hundred paddlers going down the river. And yeah, so pretty cool. You see it's still functional and operational. And over here is the dock where I'll take out and portage over to the river. So apparently, the canal is low because that was crazy coming up from the dock there. It's usually pretty easy to get it up, but I had to climb from the dock to the retaining rocks, the boulders, and then drag the boat up, which isn't normally the case here. So that was unexpected, but we made it, so we're good. That wasn't so bad. Just checked the time, and it took me about an hour to go from my car, launch down at Longford Park, paddle the 2 miles in the canal, and then portage over here to the river. So just about an hour for that. And obviously going downriver now will be a little bit faster. They say the water level's at about 3 feet, which is pretty good paddling depth. So we should do okay here. So this bridge here, this is the Schuylkill River Trail Bridge. So when I was coming up the canal, the bridge, or the Schuylkill River Trail, was running what would have been river left. And then here it crosses back over, and going northbound it'll be river right. In the distance there, that next bridge, that's Route 23, so we'll go back under that bridge again, headed back toward the portage down by Longford Park. Okay, we're going to try to scoot through here. Let's see if the water is high enough to get us through. So I just went under the bridge, and I think twice I called it the Route 23 bridge. It's not 23, it's 29. So, my bad. You know, it really has been a nice night for a paddle, and I'm glad I came out. Particularly with this whole COVID vaccine thing. If I feel like crap tomorrow, I'll be glad that I got out today, right? Racing the sunset a little bit. The wind is cool, calmed down. If it's there at all, it's in my back. And just kind of floating and enjoying the paddle. I don't know if you can see that on video. But that whole tree is full of some kind of loon. Well, that was pretty cool. I think I said that was a tree full of loons. I don't think so. I think they're called cormorants, if I'm correct. I don't know. Maybe someone can say something in the comments and correct me if I'm wrong. Still a pretty sight. They were kind of ornery. When their buddy came near them, he got the yapping and told them to stay away. I'm curious if they roost in the tree at night. And they stay up there all night until morning. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys can tell me that too. Let's see if we can get through here. Looks like there's some new trees down since last fall. This is a little tunnel that'll take me to the portage if I can get through here. All right. Got hung up on the tree down there, under submerged tree. Normally I'm on the other side of that little spit of sand. All right. Made it. I always like this little cut through here. I could have stayed on the main river for about another quarter mile and then gone and cut, ferried left to get to the portage. But in the summer it's always cool back here. In the shade. It's actually good fishing spot through here. I could just drift and Get those last few casts in before we finish the river. Just a neat area. So if you are local to the Philadelphia area, Pennsylvania, and you do this paddle, see these power lines going across the river right now. That's kind of your landmark when you're coming down the river. When you see those power lines, it's time to ferry left and exit river left at the takeout for the portage to get yourself back to Wallingford Park. And here we are. Strap this thing down, attach it to my Tug kayak cart so we can start the portage back to the park and back to the car. Just a couple hundred yards and we're done. Tug goes right over the drop. And now we're back at the canal. Walk down to where we started and the car will be waiting. All right, so back at the truck. Finished the loop. I just checked the time. It's about an hour and 50 minutes from the time I got here with my truck. Rigged up the boat, put it in the water, paddled the canal, portage over to the river, down the river, and then portage back here to the truck. So it's a nice little loop, man. It's you know, talking about a 2-hour round trip and some good exercise on a weeknight after work. So I enjoyed it. If you're watching this, I hope you enjoyed it as well, and we'll check you next time. Take it easy.